Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to get underway. If everyone can find their seats and remember to enjoy the show. Thank you.
Introducing Coming of Age, a new podcast. Woo! We talk about movies, guys, okay?
Movies. Welcome.
Welcome to the show.
Movies.
We have from Gainesville, Florida, sitting across from us right now is Dan Joplin.
Via the internet, here I am. I'm here, and that's where I am here.
Yeah, but via the internet, via you, we have over here our good friend Coby, who is joining us on the show. And then we have Chase Cummins. Coby McGraw.
Yes.
That's me.
I didn't say his full name.
And then we have Alan Loosebrock, who's the wonderful host who introduces this show every week.
I'm the introducing host.
He's the producing host.
Thank you.
Bradoki.
So let's just get right into it. You said there was a new YouTube show that you wanted to talk about?
So, yeah, it's this guy I work with came into my office today, and he was telling me about this new YouTube premium show that's called Cobra Kai.
Yeah, I know about this show.
Yeah, I've not seen this, but I was...
Did you see the trailer?
Nothing.
I tried watching 10 minutes of it, and I couldn't.
Oh, God.
Okay,
it's that bad?
Now, is it about... Okay, no, Cobra Kai. I was thinking about Cobra Commander. I was thinking it was like a G.I. Joe villain show for a minute. No, we're talking about Karate Kid.
Yeah, the way he
Cobra
described
Kai.
it to me is it's Ralph Macchio and then the bad guy from the Karate Kid, and they're all grown up, and it's actually the same actors, and the bad guy is like the main character, and he's like, his life is shit, and then Ralph Macchio's life is kind of great, and then it's like they switch roles. And like the Cobra Kai guy is like,
Macchio's the asshole.
I'm gonna
now.
start a
exactly.
dojo.
Exactly.
I remember seeing like a preview for this a while back. I thought it was a movie.
It's a show. It's a YouTube.
It's a
It's a
YouTube
YouTube show. It sounds great, right?
Not seen a thing of it. But apparently it's not good.
That makes me like when I saw it and I thought it was a movie, I was really excited. I was like, that's gonna be really fucking funny. But now that you tell me that it's a YouTube show, yeah, like
that you have to pay for.
I mean, I didn't miss it. Obviously, I forgot about it kind of, so it's not that big a deal. But it's pretty disappointing.
I don't think you have to pay for it. I watched the first.
The first two episodes are free, and then the rest on premium.
Like a subscription.
Yeah.
Because they're that good, though, guys. They're gonna pull you in.
That's what this coworker of
one's
mine was
free.
saying. He was like, "It was worth it. It's worth paying."
Literally, our friend TJ, who is a big like '80s head, just fucking loves the '80s, was literally talking about this when it was coming out. He was like, "I'm so excited to watch this." I was
my
like,
God.
Are you fucking kidding me?" He's like, "Dude, Cobra Kai's coming out like this Friday. I'm just fucking staying in." Like, I was just like,
God.
"What are you talking about?"
It's 27 minutes. It's 27 minutes long.
Oh, is it a weekly thing? He probably didn't say that if it's a weekly thing, but he said something very similar to like, you're just being excited about it. Fuck.
Yeah, so it sounded interesting to me, the way he described it and the character relationships, and I was like, that's crazy. They got the old actors. The entire time we were talking, I remembered that Michael Ironsides is the Cobra Kai coach, and it just made me want to rewatch The Karate Kid because Michael Ironsides is so fucking awesome.
Michael Ironside
Yeah.
as on Cobra Kai.
He's the coach in the first movie, I think.
No, I don't think he's on Cobra Kai.
He's not on Cobra Kai. No, it just made me want to rewatch The Karate Kid. Talking about The Karate Kid, I remembered that he's in that movie.
Okay.
And I was like, oh yeah, I didn't rewatch that movie.
Do you though?
Not really, but like, I like him. I want to see that shit. I forgot that he was in it.
Karate Kid was just something I watched when we were like literally in like taekwondo, like in fucking elementary school. Like we were like, let's watch Karate Kid. Fuck yeah, cool. We're gonna be like that.
Three ninjas.
Yeah, that was
over
Three
here.
Ninjas for
Yeah.
sure. Fucking Colt.
A lot of
Rocky.
Double Dragon.
Double Dragon.
The
Yeah.
guy who did Iron Chef for a while, or like the host.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're using garlic.
I don't know if I ever saw Double Dragon. No, I'm thinking about it.
It's great.
I think I saw
Bad
Double
effects
Dragon.
and
I didn't
everything.
see Three Ninjas though, but I might have. There's so many fucking movies that I saw when I was a child that like, if they resurfaced in my life, I'd be like, yeah.
There's a Three Ninjas movie with the Hulkster in it, and I'm sure it's terrible. I don't remember. I remember not liking it as a kid.
With
so
Hulk Hogan. Mm-hmm. Hilarious.
they're at an amusement park.
No, I remember even as a kid, like watching the Three Ninjas sequels and just being like, nah,
They're terrible. Well,
nah, man,
the fir-
nothing's like the original.
the first one was great. The second one was good, and then the rest of them are shit. I'm sure they're all shit if we go back and watch it, but there was the one where they go to Japan and they fight in the sumo wrestling or the baseball competition or something, and that one's fucking awful.
That sounds fucking hilarious.
It's funny, but it's
We really, really need to watch Battlefield Baseball on this podcast sometime. Have you heard of Battlefield Baseball, Dan?
I'm not. I'm
It's
not aware.
a Japanese movie that's pure comedy, but like plays it straight and is self-aware. It's like pretty much like a Japanese Wet Hot American Summer about baseball and like people.
So it's like
having
Bad
powers
News
and
Bears,
shit.
like Japanese
It's
Bad News
fucking-
Bears.
Sounds great.
It's so goddamn funny.
Fuck yeah.
It's fucking hilarious.
I remember you showing me the trailer and being like, that looks great.
And then I literally watched it.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
I will say this is kind of unrelated, but kind of related. Our first episode of the new series that's coming out after this one stars Cameron Mitchell, the movie. And
Are you serious?
Yeah, and I'm super excited.
Oh my god. Our October films?
Our
Or the
first
one on
October film stars Cameron Mitchell.
That's awesome.
Yeah, young Cameron Mitchell.
I don't know who that is.
He's just a drunk.
He's the B movie drunk.
There's literally movies that like have him in it later in his life where he literally like doesn't move. He's just like they're just filming around him and he's just sitting in a chair.
Without a shirt on, and in every movie he's in, at a certain point in his career, if he was in a movie, he stipulated that he had a sex scene and that there was topless women.
So he's a real stand-up guy.
Yeah, he's the B movie king though.
Yeah. He's like what
Sounds like a real rock and roll.
it's like just imagine David Carradine late in his career, but he did it his whole career.
Yeah, almost exactly like
Pretty
that.
much
It's
that.
David Carradine right before he did Kill Bill.
Oh, true, he did kill Bill.
Yeah,
that
right
was
before
weird.
that.
He did so many shitty things.
Yeah,
Brought him back.
armed response.
But apparently it didn't work. Well, no,
The Yakuza killed him in his apartment.
yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. He wasn't masturbating with a noose around his neck in a closet.
Right, got him.
So, Kobe, have you watched anything that you, I don't know, have you been watching shit? New stuff? Old stuff?
I guess
Good things?
most recently the Newcastle Rock stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Aha.
Have you watched that at all?
Did not. I just watched the first 2 episodes, so I'm not far in, but okay. So I really like it, but I had to watch the second episode like 3 times because I am just real sleepy whenever I watch that show.
Guess what, bud? You're not the only one.
It's so good, but I just cannot.
I literally had to watch the best episode so far is this episode that focuses on Sissy Spacek. It was like episode 5.
No, it was episode
6?
7.
No, 7 just came out, didn't it?
Yeah.
No,
So
8
6.
just came out because there's only 2 left.
What?
It was 7, 8, and there's
I don't
9,
know.
10.
One of my other friends told me that it might be 6 because one of my other friends told me that episode 6 they just watched and it was so good that they cried. So was it that
That's
good?
special. Well, even though it was that good, I kept on falling asleep, and I fell asleep like 5 times. But that's just kind of me anyway. And I was like,
Yeah,
fucking,
you fell
I have a
asleep during the
vape pen.
climax of Mom and
I have a
Dad.
vape pen now. Like, it's just not working out for me.
You need to stick to the real weed.
Just no weed when watching Castle Rock. But like, Are you all caught up?
Yeah, I'm caught up, and that the SpaceX episode's fantastic.
Yeah, it is my favorite. The last episode was good too.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
It's getting really good now. Like,
If you guys actually want to talk about anything past episode 2, I'll take this earbud out.
No,
and
no,
then
no.
You just
We don't have to
wave-
talk
okay,
specifics. We're just talking about the
Okay,
overall
okay.
feeling of the show.
I'm
you know?
saying you could, and then I'll just
No,
listen to the
no,
episode later after I've watched.
It's not even like a
after I've
thing
watched
like you need to talk. I feel like we have to like watch the whole series and then talk about it because it's like they jump around so much with like the narrative and like it just goes other places and you're like,
Yeah.
I don't really know what's going on, but like I'm enjoying it.
I'm starting to see
Great ride.
I'm starting to see it all come together, I think. Like we're starting to see it all kind of start fitting together, but yeah, it's definitely
I honestly really want to like it a lot, so I keep on watching it.
well, it's really good.
Because my girlfriend is like, oh my god, it's so good, and I watch it and I'm just like, it's good. I really don't think it's that great. I think it's fine, but I enjoy it. Like
Yeah.
like literally that Sissy Spacek episode was fantastic. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
But like, there's just other episodes where I'm like, well, that was an episode, and like, what? But the last 2 episodes have been fantastic for me, personally.
So I watched recently. If I had never seen it, Rosemary's Baby for the first time.
Oh. How'd you feel?
Yeah.
How'd you feel after that one?
Oh, I loved it. It was great. It was great. I mean, so I love them just chant all these old white people chanting like "Hail Satan, Hail Satan" at the end, but it would have also been interesting if they had just like left that part off and left it at like, was it all in her? Is she fucking crazy, or did like a satanic cult really?
I like that they made you feel that all the way up until the last scene, and then you get
Yeah.
confirmation at the end, and you're just like, "Oh, that's fucked up." I love that reveal, and like I think Hereditary's ending is super similar to that
Yeah.
on purpose.
Well, probably if I hadn't of like I knew what knew what fucking Rosemary's Baby was. I had never seen it, but I knew what fucking happened in it. So maybe if I didn't know that going into it, then I would have enjoyed that bit more. But I mean, I did love just watching it, like because there was the one Asian guy in the room too, like "Hail Satan."
Yeah.
Fucking great. Like one Asian businessman in the room full of like these old white people.
Oh, that's great. I need to rewatch that now.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a good while either. I feel like last time I saw that was when I was like fucking 17 or some shit.
Really? I don't think I saw it until college for the first time.
Well, it was always on the television.
Oh,
You know, it was always on the television, John. On the telly. I play the telly.
It's all about light.
I play drums.
Drums.
Drums. What's your name? Ringo.
Daddy Kaja. Yeah, I don't know. I've literally haven't been watching anything else. I've literally just been watching Castle Rock and Seinfeld.
Nice.
Literally started an episode the other day, and Jerry Seinfeld started telling terrible jokes, like he does every beginning of every episode. And I was just like, no, I don't think so this time. I just like turned it off. It's like, I'm just going to leave the room, do something else. Everything he said was so bad.
Once you go through, like, if you binge like a couple seasons of Seinfeld in a row, it becomes like painful, but it's like a comforting pain. It's like you become so used to it. that
Literally,
you're just like, I need
Seinfeld,
more.
Always Sunny, and Curb Your Enthusiasm. They all do that
Yeah.
for me. Literally all of them. If you keep on watching them, they'll just like make your brain start like fucking kicking itself. They're just like, get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah, because it's like shows about horrible people.
Yeah.
And like they're unrelentingly horrible. And everything they do just like justifies their terribleness.
Yeah.
Yeah, after a while you're just like, I can't do it anymore. I don't care how brilliant this is.
And it's amazing. Like I come across so many people who don't like see the irony of those characters for some reason, and they take those characters as like just being
It just at face value, and then
Yeah.
just like, Seinfeld sucks. You're like, what?
What?
What are you talking about?
Same with Always Sunny.
Friends.
Same with Always
Or
Sunny,
the
though.
people who think that the things that they do are genuinely cool. They're like, oh yeah, that's fucking dope, dude. Like that's such a great idea.
And they want to be these characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, George is a fucking nerd.
He gets so many women. Like, he's doing something right.
Yeah, Larry David.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
God damn, I can't wait for new Curb.
Is there going to be a new season? Did I get it?
Yeah. Well, the reason I heard about it was I was listening to a podcast with Jeff Garland, and he's just like, "Yeah, we're starting shooting in like October."
Fuck
And I was
yeah.
just like, "Fuck yes." It was on a previous episode we talked about it because I was like, "Curb Your Enthusiasm's coming out," and Dan's like, "Fuck yeah," and I'm like, "Yeah, they're starting to shoot in October," and he's like, "What?" He's like, "Fuck." Okay, so we got like a fucking year and a half.
They shoot that shit really fast. It'll probably be out in the spring.
You think in spring?
I think in the spring.
In
Damn.
the springtime.
That would be tight. Love them. I would just keep on going. I love all these shows that just like kind of pop back. Like Fly the Conchords is coming back. Did you know that, Dan?
What?
Yeah.
No, I did not.
They're.
With everybody, like with Kristen Shaw and
I'm
Eugene
not.
Merman
I'm
and all
not
them
sure.
too?
The HBO just made a like little like coming up soon like kind of thing, and it's like True Detective season 3, fucking
Game of Thrones.
Barry season 2, Game of Thrones season 8.
I'm so excited for True Detective season 2. I can't fucking wait. It's gonna be so good, bro.
Dude.
I can't believe they're doing another season.
Me
of True
too.
Detective.
I know, it's
Like,
amazing.
The first season was so good. I just can't even. Second season's gonna be so good.
The second
So
season is
dope.
unfathomable.
Yeah, it's gonna be so good, dude.
I think the casting of Mahershala Ali, or however you say his name, in season 2 is like the best
Yeah.
casting choice.
yeah. Oh no, it's perfect. Yeah.
Season 2.
Good thing it didn't cast anyone like Vince Vaughn or anything like that.
Oh god. Fucking Bullseye. Should they put fucking Bullseye in there?
Yeah, so glad that didn't exist.
It's fantastic. But yeah, it's like that, and Fly the Conchords was just in there, and they're literally like, "What? We're coming back!" Like in the ad, like. So I don't know. Their hair is so gray. The other dude, I know Jermaine, but what's the other guy's name? Do you know? I have no idea.
Yeah. Oh god damn it. Brett.
Brett.
Yeah. I can't fucking remember.
No, it's Brit.
Brett. He maybe did.
He's Brit.
Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. What did he maybe do? No, he maybe did. He maybe did.
Did you watch that whole show like till the end?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
The fucking final episode. This is why I just was saying like, it's awesome how they ended it and they got deported on like the last episode. But like now there's a new season. I'm like, it's okay. Like I'll take more episodes. But
Dude, their manager Murray, I fucking love him. What is his name?
Reese Darby.
yeah,
Reese Darby. Yeah. Oh, which also I watched Jumanji.
The new one or the old one?
the new one.
The new one.
I like it.
Reese Darby's in the new one.
I know. I was just like,
yeah.
he just
And
said
it's actually really
Jumanji.
funny because I was watching it in my
Welcome
room
to the
on my
jungle,
iPad.
or
I was watching Jumanji in my room on my iPad, and then like I finished it, and then like I heard the fucking dance song fight scene playing out in the living room, and I was like, what the fuck? And I walked out, and my roommate was watching it on the fucking TV out in the living room.
That's funny.
hell?
Just both watching Jumanji in different rooms.
Welcome to
sad
the
at the same
jungle.
And the new one, the Welcome to the Jungle one.
Yeah. Is there what? Wait, what?
It's called Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
They needed to have that because you can't just call it Jumanji.
There is a difference.
You can't have a hard reboot on that.
Yeah, no. No, but the
Hey, Robin Williams is dead.
Did you guys ever see the the show he had on Netflix?
Nickelodeon?
It was like, no, it was kind of like Angry Boys, or it was kind of like a Summer Heights High. But he played a bunch of different characters in New Zealand rather than like in Australia.
No, that's not Reese Darby. That's not him.
Yeah.
That's a different person.
No. I'm not talking about Summer Heights High. Reese Darby did a
okay.
show that was like
In the style of.
similar to that.
Similar
like,
to that.
He played a
I
bunch of
fucking
different
love
characters.
Summer Heights High.
Oh,
Oh my
fuck
god, the teachers! Like when he's the teacher and he's like putting on the
Welcome to
mask.
Mr. G's room. Kevin, you slut.
Okay, well that's a good segue just straight up into Richard Ayoade. Like
Fuck
straight
yeah.
up, let's just start talking about that guy. Because
Yeah.
British comedy and him, like literally Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
Dude.
Are you kidding me?
Dude,
That
the guy Matthew Holdness who created that show is coming out with a horror movie this year called Possum, and it looks fucking nuts.
a horror show.
Horror movie.
Oh, horror
It's a movie, and it looks fucking nuts.
Wow,
It's
fucking
the bad
nuts.
guy from
You heard
the-
it here first.
Yeah, heard it here. It's the bad guy from the last two Mission Impossible movies is like the main character, and from what I can glean from the trailer, he's like a child serial killer. He like murders children, and he's crazy, and it looks fucking crazy. I think
Wow.
Richard Ayoade might be a producer on it.
That's awesome. Did everyone watch Garth Marenghi's Dark Place? Everyone or no?
I've seen it.
not.
You have not.
No.
Have you seen it, Dan?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh my god, it's one of my favorite things. Kobe, shame on you. God damn.
Matthew Barry and Richard Ayoade in a horror comedy.
yeah,
TV
and,
show.
yeah, it's fucking fantastic. It's the first thing that like I'm pretty sure Richard Ayoade, like I'm sure a lot of them did, but he's got directing credits on that.
Yeah.
you know, as well. I don't know if he directed the whole thing. Probably not, but
I think him and Matthew Holdness created it.
oh okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking incredible. And like he even has like spin-off shows from that as well. He's just so funny. All of their lines are just given so fucking straight. They're like, "Oh god. Oh, look, there's something coming through the door trying to stab me." He was like, "God damn it. You better be high when watching this show." It's so fucking
It's a
hilarious.
prerequisite.
There's literally like 6 episodes or something like that.
No, there's 8, I think.
There's 8?
It's like 4 episode seasons. There's 2 seasons.
It's so good.
A Dark Place.
Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
Okay.
It's literally, if listeners, if you've never watched this show, look it up right now. Garth Marenghi's Dark Place is literally like Garth Marenghi is like a Stephen King,
Yeah.
pretty much. And he's played by this character who writes all these books, and in the books, like you go into the books, like into the like insane asylum and stuff, and like he's the main character.
I think he's the doctor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fan-fucking-tastic.
It's so good.
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm Garth Marenghi. I've literally written more books than I've read."
I've written over 200 books.
I've only read 125.
It's so good. But yeah, he's someone that I didn't even know that he was the director of Submarine, the movie we're talking about tonight. You guys remember?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah. What
Like,
movie?
I didn't know, like the first time. I don't know if I like had knowledge of him as I didn't know his name. I knew him as the guy from the IT crowd.
Yep.
Okay.
At first, that's where my introduction to Ayoade. I think that's how you say his last name.
Ayoade.
Ayoade is. That's where my introduction is.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've since come to watch as many things as I can see of his, but he's in a lot now. He hosts
Yeah.
like one of the most famous British shows of all time now, Crystal Palace or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, Magic Palace, whatever it's called.
Crystal something.
Yeah,
Crystal.
I think it's Crystal Palace. But like he's like the new host of that, and that's like beloved British show, and he's on Great Big Quiz of the Year.
Yeah.
Every
yeah.
year
He's
with
yeah,
Noel Fielding.
I love that.
Yeah, that's so great.
They're the best pet like team ever. They fucking play off each other perfectly.
Damn.
Yeah, the IT crowd is what I first my exposure to Richard Ayoade was.
Yeah.
Then I found Submarine through that, and then just
Oh, that's awesome.
Double and everything else he's done. It's been
Yeah, totally.
He directed some Arctic Monkey stuff too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Just the early videos.
Did he direct those after doing Submarine or
Pretty
before?
sure before. Yeah.
And he just had that relationship with Alex Turner.
Yeah.
So there was a point after like knowing who he was. It was definitely after Submarine came out. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, definitely.
Submarine came out in 2010.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was after that. Probably after you met Ben Stiller, that fucking weird alien movie came out with like Ben Stiller and Richard Ayoade.
Oh, yeah, The Watch.
And like
Yeah.
Seth Rogen or something?
No, Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill. Some movie that like, did you watch it?
Yeah, it's good.
It's good.
It,
It
it's all right.
it doesn't look good.
It was supposed to be like a hard R comedy, and then there was like some controversy at the time that it was about to come out where a neighborhood watch. Oh, it was the Trayvon Martin shit. Where the guy he like shot the kid, and so they had to change the name of the movie.
Zimmerman.
Yeah, and they had to change the name of the movie and then edit out a lot of the like more adult stuff. And so there's like an unrated version that's really good. It's like the actual movie, but the one that came out in the theaters kind of got like skipped over because they had to change so much because the like cultural climate was so toxic, especially when it had to deal with 4 rogue neighborhood watch guys killing people.
Oh my
killing
god!
aliens.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was like kind of a shame.
I'll probably never watch it. Remember that movie Mystery Men?
Yes.
Yes.
Hold my finger.
Anyway, you guys want to talk about Submarine?
No.
Yeah, sure.
I'm kind of nervous to talk about it.
Why?
Oh my goodness.
Dan, how many times have you seen this movie? One time?
Twice, because I watched it twice. Because I really enjoyed it and I had extra time at work today.
Yeah, it is that good.
Chase, you should have recommended this movie to me or something, like, you know,
Oh yeah,
5 years ago.
Because I didn't do that 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Didn't tell you to watch
it's
it
really
over
good,
and over again.
man. It's really good. I'm glad I recommended it this time around, that we all watch it, because it was great.
It is written so impeccably. Like,
Oh, it's perfectly written.
especially the first just like, what is it, like 10, 15 minutes of just the narration, like where the movie hasn't really started yet. It's just like setting everything up. Literally everything that Oliver Tate is saying it's like watching 30 Rock. You're like every
very
line is a
first
joke
line.
and it's incredible.
What's the very first
The
line?
very first line, it's like pushing in on him, like looking out his window in his room, and he's like, some people manage to go through life by thinking that everyone is different and that everyone's unique, and like that's what helps get them up out of bed and everything in the morning. I'm Oliver Tate. And then it just like hard cuts to the next scene.
And
That's
even
so
before
great.
that, with the letter to Americans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the way the film
great.
opens.
Yeah, for sure. Just explain what Wales is.
Yeah. We're next to the United Kingdom, which you pretend to treat like an equal.
I mean, to be honest, I was making a joke to one of my friends the other day of just like, what is Wales? What is even Wales? Like what? What? You mean that other part of England?
That's funny too because Christian Bale is Welsh.
I thought he was Japanese.
Yeah, and that was our last episode.
He's actually American. He's Dick Cheney.
He is Dick Cheney.
Christian Bale is Dick Cheney.
Coming in
Christian Bale
2019.
is a dick.
Dick the Dick Cheney.
Oh, yeah. So I love the beginning of this movie when he's like in class and he's like just staring off into space. And the way his mouth just hangs open, he's so frozen, like, and not in the room, you know, that blank look on his face. And then he starts talking about how he imagines his own funeral.
Yeah.
And how everyone reacts to his own death. And I feel like everybody in the world has that thought or that fantasy when they're sitting in class and they're like, what if I was dead? I wonder how everybody would act if I was dead.
I feel like it's why
I
it's
feel like
funny. Like, I've never had that thought.
No,
no,
thought,
not like.
never thought.
I've had
never had an
other
extended
very
fan-
pitiful
okay.
thoughts
Okay.
about
Well, no,
my
no.
own fucking id.
I haven't even
Like,
had it. Yeah, I mean, I haven't had like a extended fantasy about it or anything like that. But you've never thought like, wonder what people would be like if I was dead. I wonder if I just died. What would I do? I don't know, man. That's never. No.
It's never-
but it's never.
Well, Chase, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I've thought
that's
if
a-
I've
that's
ever
a normal
died, but it's
thought.
never been like the fucking glorified. It's never been the glorified thing that he experienced.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
yeah. but
I definitely haven't thought it since like I was that age.
Yeah, exactly,
Like-
exactly. But like at that age, I remember being like, I wonder what people would say if they heard I wasn't here anymore.
I would always think like I haven't done anything yet. Like nobody would care. I literally haven't done a thing
Yeah.
in my life.
Or
It'd be
you
like,
think-
wrong kid died. No,
Wrong kid died.
would you be happy?
But yeah, that's what's great about that movie is that it kind of like brings you into Oliver Tate's mind.
Yeah,
And like the way it's shown and what he's thinking and everything. Just it's fantastically presented.
Have you read the
movie.
book?
I haven't. No.
I have not either. And Ben Stiller didn't read
neither.
it, so
You don't really need to. You kind of get everything you need out of the movie.
Yeah.
And the movie has so much idiosyncrasy and like technical precision and like
It was so well shot. Oh, my
yeah.
god!
Yeah.
Like the edit and the fucking okay. There was like these. It had a nice little Wes Anderson-y vibe thing that like
Okay.
my indie guy loved.
I wanna stop you right there and say, don't fucking say Wes Anderson vibe. That was Francois Truffaut. It was not Wes Anderson. He was channeling French New Wave and Fellini.
Okay, I know, but
and-
I'm an ignorant American. Okay, I'm an ignorant hipster piece of shit American. So yeah, it was clearly there weren't enough pastels for it to be Wes Anderson anyway.
lots of color though. Did you know that
Yeah, no.
colors are like straight up just like divided between characters in this film? I didn't know that. I started looking into it. I knew that obviously there was some of that going on, but I didn't know the extent. Like literally every character has like a color.
Yeah, and Jordana's obviously red, but Jordan, the girl who exists in this reality, pointed out in this last watch through that when he has sex with her for the first time,
He has
the
more
next
red.
the next shot we see him, it's the first time we see him wearing a red sweater.
Exactly.
And then the shot right after that is him in his room, and the poster on the wall said his death was red.
Yeah.
And it's like right in the center of the frame.
red is getting more incorporated into him.
Yeah. And it's like I thought that was really cool. Like when she pointed that out, I was like, oh, I didn't notice that.
They even talk about like with the douchebag ex-boyfriend, like he's like the colorist guy, you know. He has like talking about people's auras and shit. And then Oliver was even saying like, if my dad had a color, it would be
Eggshell.
Eggshell, yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
or ochre.
He
was ochre or
I
eggshell.
really didn't think. The only thing that made me think of it was Oliver's like friend, who's a huge dick, because he's wearing white all the time, and like with all the British school uniforms, you just see him in the crowd like so easily because he's just wearing like a white windbreaker or some
with white
shit.
pants and a white
He got
shirt.
stabbed when they were talking about how he got popular. Was just he was like he wasn't even hot until the whatever twins stabbed him with compasses.
And he took it without saying a word
Yeah,
or
it was-
making a sound. He just
It's like watching a World War II event or something.
it reminded me of the stoicism of a World War I soldier.
like dying. Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah.
I really like back to the funeral like scene, or not funeral, just him dying. Like his fantasy of those two girls just crying and their fucking like hair's both the same and they're just like whipping it around. Like I fucking love that scene so much.
Well, and then once you find out like his relationship to the different girls in the fantasy, like
Yeah,
like
exactly,
the one
yeah.
who's crying like that is the girl he made out with and then pushed into the pool to get not push, but like helped ease into the lake or the puddle or whatever that got
pushed.
Jordana's attention. Yeah, push. Yeah, essentially. Counter push.
I thought it was just a game. It's
just
kind of
a
like
game.
a game.
Yeah, you can replace
must
all the
not let
things
my
in the bag.
principles
And,
Everything in there is cheap.
fuck off and die.
But it's great how they like mix like how you're talking about just the style of it. Like they literally mix film into it through the plot itself, which works incredibly well. Like works way too fucking good. It's perfect. Because you can just
talking
use
about
so many different styles.
When you talking about
Yeah,
like the scene where he's like canning the envelope off to the woman who knows the girl that he bullied, Zoe, and then he's like, at this point, I imagine the camera craning back, but if my life keeps going the way it is, we're only going to have enough money to do a slow zoom out, and it's just the camera slowly zooming out as he says it.
And that's the first introduction, like into that world, like where like the camera is his mind. Like it's just they're both.
Yeah. It like fully
Synchronous,
establishes
you know?
like you're in his point of view at all
If
times.
he were to make a movie, this would be it, and that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what's so
Conceptually,
crazy
it's
about like
great.
especially like the Super 8 parts where they're on the beach and they're like making their own movie. Like it's not like they're fucking doing it selfie style. It's legit like someone's filming them running around on the beach.
No, because he even says he's like already I'm turning these memories into I'm turning these into like
The Super 8 film of memory.
Yeah, the Super 8 film
exactly.
of memory. Yeah, and I love those parts.
Well, and it's how we remember things.
Remember that? I love that.
I love that. Yeah. Well, I think that's interesting style because I feel like that's how we remember things a lot of times. Like it's like this grainy, cut up footage, but we're like kind of outside of ourselves when we think about it.
yeah, and that's what like ultimately he's like a romantic, like
Oh, for sure.
everything about him. So like if he were like again to make this movie, like everything about it, it's in romantic style.
Yeah. It romanticizes every aspect of his life.
It
And,
like gives me the same feelings as Eternal Sunshine.
Yeah.
Like it makes me. It's not as sad as Eternal Sunshine. It's not. It's way more. Just it's funny.
Coming
it's
of
fucking
age, yeah.
comedic ass, hilarious movie.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. It's a lot lighter than that.
Yeah, for sure.
But like I don't know, something about it like just gives me those same kind of
It's just that like internal perspective that is
indie
like
vibes.
kind of
Like,
wacky.
I don't know. It like makes me feel so artistic.
Yeah, it's a classic because like I've seen it like more than 5 times, and like each time it's just like same experience, just
Yeah.
every
It's
beat, every
impeccable.
like joke they do and everything. It's
Yeah.
And I'm sure
it
there's so
hits.
much more to like pick
Yeah.
up on, you know.
Every time I watch it, I notice something new, and each time, like I've now taken long breaks in between my viewings of it because when I first saw it, it was like I'm going to show everybody. I'm going to rewatch it every single time,
And yeah.
and then,
you
and now,
did, and-
yeah, and I did, except with Dan apparently, and then now it's been like a while since I've seen it again, and I like kind of re-experienced it, and it's great for that. Like everything still holds fresh, everything's still funny where it's supposed to be funny or where you remember laughing, and then you notice so much more. Like so much more about the characters and stuff.
There's just so many lines that are so clever that like I couldn't catch them all. I literally remember like we were smoking weed. So I would just kind of, you know, get lost in the sauce a little bit. And then people would be laughing and I'd be like, oh shit, I missed that line. Like, damn it. So there's just like there's so many fucking good lines
Dude,
in this movie. It's like everything.
every single line. Yeah, no, like even when he's talking about I snuck into my parents' room to find like on one of my annual or one of my regular raids to look through their shit and found a book my mom had on teenage
Delusions or
teenage delusions and like suspicions and shit like that. And it's like, yeah, dude, it's fucking well founded. Like you're going through their shit.
yeah, but then he like reads it and then starts enacting the delusions to
Yeah.
reinforce with his mom that he's crazy.
I feel as though my body's been replaced by a shell.
Dude, his parents are awesome in this movie.
Yeah, well, his mother was just nominated for an Academy Award in her most recent film, Sally Hawkins.
Fantastic. Sally Hawkins is fucking amazing.
Yeah,
Dude,
Her
literally.
tongue's too big for her mouth.
that's why she doesn't talk
yeah.
in her Academy Award nominated performance.
God, she is gorgeous. And like her just giving the fucking thumbs up. It's like so good. That whole scene where they're just like finding out that he has a girlfriend. So fucking fantastic. Like, wait, really?
Oh.
Wait, really? Oh, I'm so
Oh
sorry.
no, of course.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
No, why wouldn't you? Yeah.
And it was Noah
Taylor.
Noah
Yeah.
Taylor. Fucking I love this guy. What's the movie about the falafel? That's the first movie I ever saw with him in it that I like actually recognized him. It's like he died with a falafel in his hand. Have you ever seen that movie?
No,
You've never seen that?
no.
Holy shit. You guys have to watch that movie. It is.
Is that the name of the movie?
Yes.
There with the falafel in his hand.
Yes. It is fucking
Okay.
incredible. It's like an insane. I think it's like a New Zealand or Australian production. It's fucking incredible. Super fucking hilarious and just wild as hell. Yeah, so check
Dude,
that out.
that is the name of the movie. He died with a falafel in his hand.
Yeah.
Australian
That
comedy
is
film
the name of the
starring
movie. I
Noah
looked it up
Taylor.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't lying.
No, I know. It's just like that's such a crazy name for a film.
I know. It's a hilarious film.
I'll check it out.
I'm
It's
definitely
so
gonna watch
funny.
that.
Great.
So
It's based on a memoir.
definitely watch that. That's the first time I ever saw him, but like I've just seen him in so
He's
many
great.
other things.
Every time
after
he pops
that.
up, it's like, oh, it's
Oh, I
Noah
fucking
Taylor. Like,
love
he's
him.
great. Like he's
And-
in Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
as, like,
right.
a villain.
Yeah,
And every
but like
time I
he
see
plays
him-
a lot of dark roles.
Yeah.
To like see him in something like this is like a little rare for me.
He's in
like,
Vanilla
like-
Sky. He is like
Yeah.
a bad guy. He's like one of the scientists in Vanilla Sky. I think he might be the lead scientist at the end who like explains everything.
Yeah.
That's Noah Taylor. And like he's in Almost Famous.
Yep.
He's in
He's awesome.
he's the dad in the Tim Burton Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. He's in The
Yeah,
Life
well.
Aquatic.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I love that Tim Burton movie.
But he's also in The Life Aquatic, which came out the year
for
before.
sure. Yeah.
Like he's
Dude,
everywhere.
Yeah, I fucking love
He's
this
such
guy.
a good character actor that he blends in. Like you recognize him, but you're like, I don't know his name.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's like I want to know his name.
I need a. He's one of my favorites. Like really, like he's so. Every time I see him, I'm just like, oh, yes, like, this guy's awesome. I love this guy, and just him coming in, and just being like, oh hey, like,
Oh, so I hear you have a new girlfriend, and
He's like doing this thing with his hands.
yeah,
He's like,
he's like, you know, when I was your age, I once ripped my vest off for a woman.
it's very effective.
Very effective.
I suggest you do something like that.
I've got a soundtrack for you, you know, about romance, and I feel that music makes the moment feel a little bit more real sometimes. You know what I
I
mean?
love that. I love that line. Honestly, that line,
And
I
then,
really do love
I've-
that line.
Oh, it's perfect.
I've also included some breakup tricks. You know, just at the end. It's not the goal, but you know, it is likely. Just want to let you know.
Passion,
Passion
rarely,
fades. Yeah.
rarely, like
Rarely lasts.
Yeah,
It
it's
fades
so
very quickly, and it is a likely scenario for you.
anyway, we're so proud of you. Like,
But anyways, good job.
Yeah.
so good.
Also, when he drops him off and he's like, "Go get him, killer," and just like gives him a handshake. it
He's
just,
like, I will. I will.
I
go
will.
Get him. That's so funny, dude. They just bounce off each other so well.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy to see. Like I watched interviews of the people who play Jordana and what's his name?
The actor.
Oliver Tate.
It's like Craig
Robertson.
Craig Robertson. There we go. I was like going to say Jordana
Roberts.
and Craig. Like I was just like, now I'm thinking of weird things. But like they're literally just weirdos. Like at this time of the filming of the movie, like they're just both like, yeah, we're just like quiet weirdos. We get along really well, but we're just like kind of
Yeah,
like.
they're-
And I'm just like, you're literally just the same people. Like this is crazy that you can act so well.
They're both in The Double that Richard Ayoade directed with Jesse Eisenberg. And the Yasmin Page who does Jordana
Yeah.
plays like a way different character. And Craig Roberts plays like a police officer. It's like they both play like these wildly different
How
characters.
old are they in that?
They're in their 20s.
Okay.
Yeah, not too far off of Submarine.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
2-3 years. I mean,
5 years.
2,
I
3,
think
5,
I think
2,
the
3,
double
5
was
years.
I think the double was 2015. I could be wrong.
Doesn't matter. I need to watch it. I've never seen it.
Oh, it's good. It's great. It's Dostoevsky's The Double, you know, which is a trippy story to begin with. So
Which came out the same year as Enemy, or like around the same time.
That's
Big
another
movie.
movie that we talked about, and I still have not seen.
So The Double and Enemy are a great double feature because they're kind of the same story, but they're both done so differently.
based off of the same.
And they're based off the same
movie.
source material. Yeah.
Source material.
And they're both so wildly different.
Well, that's awesome. We should probably do a study of that.
No, it was
And cut that
2013
part
when The
out.
Double came out. So Yeah, no, we should definitely watch those two and do like a double episode or something.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, you could really go through this movie, but like it's just there. It's incredible. It's just such a good movie. This is why I was nervous to talk about it because I'm just like
It's hard to talk about because it's hard to not just describe every part of it.
yeah.
because
Well,
it's so
it doesn't
amazing.
need to be described because it's just so good that you just need to go fucking watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those films. Like literally you watched it twice. You're just like, oh my god, I had such a good time
Yeah.
just now watching this movie.
It hits you in all the different feels, and it has like
Yeah.
a really nice ending, and it's like referencing all these like great old movies. What were you about to say?
As soon as I started watching it, I was just like, man, I really should have watched this a long time ago. Immediately. I was just like, Chase was right.
Thank you for admitting that. I'm going to relish that.
Dude,
I wish we watched it like in the same room together.
all the like camera work, like seriously, just like the style of this fucking movie is so insane. The camera work and the sound design, like when they're underneath the bridge with the train
Oh, I
going
love
over,
that.
and it's just like zooming towards his face, like while the train's like,
Yeah,
like
isolated and
oh
like,
my
it's-
god. It's so good. Them passing each other in the hallway and it just flipping back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
That's the
There's-
best.
Dude,
Yeah.
there's so many great fucking parts.
Just so many zooms too, and I like just like slow zooms.
Oh yeah.
I love those.
It like the DNA of this movie is so crazy. It's like Robert Altman, Fellini, Truffaut, Godard. There's all these like filmmakers that he's homaging, and at the point where it's like it doesn't even matter anymore. It's just like this is Ayoade. This is just Richard Ayoade now. Like the whole scene where they pass and hit shoulders, like the way that's edited made me feel like I was back in a hallway. Like when you brush up against the girl that you like in the hallway and you just pass each other. Like that, it put me back in that place.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. It's so good. I like. Is he an active director? Does he have plans for more things?
I feel
Like,
so.
is like I really want him to. I haven't seen anything else. I need to.
He
see
did the
more.
double, and that's just as good and way darker. And then he is super busy now hosting all of these new British shows. Not new, but like hosting all these British shows that
more on the comedy side of.
yeah,
his
he's
life,
like I think
which
he's
is
working
great. He's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I think he's worked on like writing a lot of TV shows and stuff, and he does like a travel show now.
Which is
He
great.
worked on
Travel Man,
Community.
it's
Yeah,
fantastic.
Travel Man is fucking awesome.
And Travel Man and Gadget Man.
Yeah, those are both Richard Ayoade.
Inspector Gadget Man.
Where he like gets with celebrities and goes and does like ridiculous things and like travels around. I mean, it's a travel show, and then he does. I think it's the Crystal Palace.
He writes books too. He has like.
He has a book on
that-
filmmaking.
which he interviews himself.
Yeah, it's called Ayoade on Ayoade.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And it's supposed to be hilarious. It's a parody of another. I think it's a parody of Scorsese on Scorsese. So it's a comedy book as well as an actual like filmmaking book that he put together.
Yeah,
I
it's
wish
great.
that he would hook up with like Watiti and Jermaine, like you know, like how they're doing the what we do in the shadows, like TV show. Like
Oh, yeah.
I just want like
Some Ayoade in there.
some Ayoade in there. Like let's get that shit in there. Like
Yeah.
it sounds like it'll all mix well.
I feel like they would mix very well.
Like they've got to know each other.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure
know?
they've met at least.
I'm sure, like, yeah, I feel like they know each other and we're like, yeah, we're from the same fucking family. Like, we'll see you over here. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like,
Kind of,
you
yeah.
do your thing, we're gonna do this over here. We're the same brand.
Yeah.
Like they so are.
Yeah, totally. My impression is that Ayoade is just like best friends with Noel Fielding, and they do projects that like
Yeah.
they like discuss the projects together.
Have you watched any of Noel Fielding's like luxury comedy show?
No.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's where I got the birthday thing that I post on all y'all's wall. It's my birthday. I'm 100. It's Rich Fulcher like dancing with Noah Fielding as like this weird monster and like taking Jello shots and shit.
Yeah, that show's great, and Richard Ayoade shows up in that too a few times as a talking shark, and it's like a sketch show almost.
Yeah.
All these bits and pieces. together. Yeah,
That sounds great. I'm gonna watch that. That also makes me want to bring up the Mighty Boosh, which I'm pretty sure Ayoade wrote and directed parts of.
Really?
I'm pretty sure he had a hand in that.
That makes sense too. I mean,
It all makes sense when you start putting it together. You're like,
anything
oh,
crazy and a little like offbeat and British / New Zealand. Like, I was like, yeah, he could be involved. Sounds about right.
yeah. I would love to see him pop up in the What We Do in the Shadows universe, though.
Yeah,
I feel like he would fit in perfectly.
Universe, the What We Do in the Shadows universe.
I mean, it's a universe now. They have a
It's
TV
not a
show.
universe. It's not a universe. They're just making a show out of a movie. They've done this before without making universes.
Yeah. Okay, but it's still the universe. You don't have to have a bunch of offshoot shows for it to be like a thing. Like,
It's
if he shows up in that show, he's in that universe.
Okay, we kind of call. I think the normal nomenclature for that is he's in that world. Or, okay, I don't know.
It's not a universe
yeah,
now.
I kinda,
You have to build a universe.
at what point does it become multiverse?
Yeah, I mean, it's a universe. It's based off one version of the world.
This is a new thing in cinema. You can't just start calling everything's universes.
I called things universes way before the fucking Marvel and DC fucking bullshit started happening.
Bullshit.
There's a Blade
Don't
universe.
say that about Marvel.
It's still bullshit.
Anywho,
You have TMNT universe. You have the fucking Blade universe. I mean, there's universes. The fucking who cares?
It's just a trilogy.
It's also a comic book and a graphic novel.
Yeah, but they don't connect because they're all fucked up.
So still a universe.
I don't know. Then that gets into the multiverse. Okay. Anyway, what were we talking about? What We Do in the Shadows. When the fuck is that show gonna come out? That sounds awesome. I've heard of so many comedians, literally talking about their interview process for that show,
Like people
and like waiting for callbacks, and like people who I know,
like auditioning and stuff
from like podcasts and stuff. They're just like, yeah, I like. Paul F. Tompkins was talking about it.
Well, I almost am like expect him. in
Yeah,
that.
because he just wears luxurious suits
Yeah.
and has like a fucking
He just, like,
badass
is a
mustache.
vampire.
Like, looks like he would just be perfect on that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he was talking about it, and there's a couple other people as well. And I was like, that's awesome. Like I hope he made it. Like whatever they do, I'm sure it'll be fine. But yeah, Submarine. Submarine is it's a coming of age movie, but it's like also just. I don't know. It's funny. Like it's literally summed up in that line that he says at the end of the movie. He's like, I don't know if I quite come of age.
But I'm definitely older.
Yeah. And it's like, oh my God, it's fantastic.
But in a way,
It
this
is
is
the
the most
essential, like it's
it's the most classic coming of age, quote unquote, movie that we're watching in this series.
Yeah.
Because like I would say Empire of the Sun is less a coming of age story and more of a chore of a movie.
well, we hoped that it would have been the brightest star in the coming of age like genre. I literally thought it was going to be. I was like, this is going to be the essential coming of age movie. And then
Coming from Spielberg.
we watched it and we were like, whoa.
Nope.
Never mind.
And you can listen to that episode to find out our thoughts on that movie. But this one, I was like, this is, while being kind of subverting the genre, it's the classic. It's like, because 8th Grade even subverts it by it being like a lead girl, and the ultimate message being that like you don't need to grow up that fast. You know, like it's like slow down growing up, and she like doesn't need to become an adult, and like that is the maturing process. So like it still is coming of age, but at the same time, it's like coming of your own age, of like you're the appropriate age, which is great. That movie's fantastic, but this movie is truly like a coming of age story.
Yeah. This is like a love and sexuality, like birth and growth kind of.
Yeah, like he loses his virginity and he falls in love, and he like fucks up and like becomes, shows his fallibility, and like has to come to terms with his parents like imperfect relationship, and all these things that like are like classic coming of
All
age
very
tropes.
relatable.
Yeah,
But-
and very
but I mean,
relatable.
he even references like them because he references the like running up to the girl that looks just like her, that like is the same shape and silhouette and has the same haircut and shit. Like these sort of trope things, they are like
it's
the classic.
It's
waypoints and things like that.
exactly. It's self-aware in that way.
So is The Graduate like an anti coming of age story?
Okay, so that is a whole conversation. That's an episode right there.
I was just thinking about that. Like, it's kind of like he just becomes like fucking dark and grim and like fucking like depressed about life and
Like that's so hard to pin down because
like,
The Graduate is
you've got so many options.
The Graduate is like he comes of age and finds himself, and then at the same time like completely throws that identity out the window for a different one, and then the end of the movie is him sitting there realizing, oh, this isn't actually what I wanted.
Yeah.
Whoops. Yeah. Whoops.
Hello, darkness,
Whoopsies.
mild. Atlanta International Airport.
It's that's an interesting film to bring up because it's simultaneously classic coming of age and anti coming of age.
It really is. It's like both.
Yeah.
But like, there's not a lot of. I don't know. I'm probably wrong about this, but I just feel like there's like so many coming of age movies that aren't the perfect coming of age tale.
Well, those are the best
But
ones.
is that not? But is that not life? Like you think you're having like this life-changing event, like it seems to you like it's gonna be this life-changing event, and then it turns out to just kind of be.
But it seems so Hollywood though. The idea of like a coming of age tale, like
it's like in this movie where he like walks into his parents' room and he's like, I think you're wrong. I think this will matter when I'm 38. I think this will be important. And it's like, but it really won't.
like what?
Like it will, but it won't. And it's like kind of in that scene alone, then it's like coming of age doesn't necessarily mean what you think it means.
And then he turns up the dimmer and leaves the room.
Yeah. Little shithead.
They're definitely not having sex now.
Hey, we're trying to fuck in here. Hey, I'm fucking over here.
But the soundtrack though on that movie.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Alex
Fucking
Turner.
Great. Really good.
Beautiful.
Dina was
It's
literally
good.
singing along to the songs the whole time. Like, damn girl.
Yeah. I still listen to those that entire album soundtrack.
Yeah,
every
it's
once
got
in
a
while.
fan-fucking-tastic soundtrack.
Jesus Christ, Chase. Jesus fucking Christ.
Jesus goddamn motherfucking Christ.
Jesus.
I'll just repeat everything you said for the
Jesus
last
Christ.
2 minutes.
Oh, it's a fucking fantastic soundtrack. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you just click that.
How did you guys like the scene where he lays like everything's gone to shit? He lays down in bed and then the water laps up
Oh,
and it like everything fades. Because I love that, and
it's amazing. It literally seems like the film could just end there and you'd be happy. You'd just be like,
You'd be sad, but
There's like a lot of unanswered questions. This is a sad movie now, but I'm fine with it ending.
I love how consistent the theme is, like by naming it Submarine, and then all these motifs of like how deep is the ocean,
Being underwater.
being underwater, like feeling like the pressure of all of those things.
The fact that his dad is
As a marine
a marine
biologist,
biologist.
that whole
Like, through all
sequence.
that's why the fucking title makes so much sense.
Oh, yeah,
There's never
but, like-
any like direct thing where it's just like they like mention torpedoes as well. Like what
I'm
is
a
he? He's like-
torpedo.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he talks about you're the only person I would let go in like inside like a tiny submersible inside my body.
Yeah.
Like I would.
Yeah, you're the only person I'd shrink down.
which
as
is
a
like
tiny
just like that
submersible
Martin
and then
Short
inside
movie.
me.
Yeah.
That's literally what I thought of immediately.
inner space.
Inner space.
It's funny.
That's literally like what they're referencing.
I'm sure they are.
Or is that the Fantastic Voyage? There were two.
Well,
there-
there's two, yeah, for sure.
yeah.
And
The
Inner
Magic
Space is
School
referencing
Bus.
the other one. But yeah, Inner Space is the one where it's the funny one to reference.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that, and I love the scene where he is talking about his dad giving a speech, and then it cuts to the scene of his dad answering
Oh my god.
all those questions, and it's so funny, and it ends with him winking on the sound of the other guy's like seminar with that bass. It's just like boom boom. He like
Yeah.
winks.
that made me so happy. Like that. Oh, you just love his dad so much.
Oh, it's the best.
Especially like they're sitting at the table together. They're just like the same person, and then like
Yes.
then he's fucking Oliver's drinking the cup of the warm tea,
water with
or
lemon.
warm lemon water.
Yeah.
Yeah, warm water with lemon.
Yeah, like literally
We're in the
when
same
he
row.
skips out on going to the hospital to see like
Jordana.
Yeah.
Jordana's mother, and he just goes and just sits in the living room with his dad.
Well, then the phone rings.
Yeah.
And, yeah, and this Oliver's just like, it could be mom, and then the dad's just like, could be
Jordana, and they both do nothing.
Yeah, you just sit there. He's eating like Marmite and just like.
Exactly. It's so good. Holy shit.
I was just thinking with Submarine too. Submarine talking about them being underwater. Like I guess a submarine is a good metaphor for what they like. You're underwater, but you're able to survive. Like you've learned to it. You've got this protection that keeps you safe, even though you are underwater. Even though you're, as they say, down in the dumps.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like the theme. I feel like armoring yourself, and then like breaking through that to try and like reveal yourself to another person and that kind of struggle and stuff.
Jordana's like the perfect fucking woman that I would fall in love with in high school too. She's like so the type of woman that
She's everyone's type.
was attracted to in high school.
Yeah.
Well, like literally, I feel like I got a girlfriend like very much like her in high school.
Yeah, I had one.
Yeah, I was just like, oh god, I'm so connected to this movie. Jordana, take me away. Take pictures of me underneath the fucking railroad.
There's Polaroids coming out. Like there's all those quick cuts were just all those quick cut shots were amazing.
Also, the way it would like freeze and like the camera would be moving around them, but they'd be like frozen or like moving so slowly.
When Zoe's about to fall into the water, and then she like looks over at the camera for a second, like right before she falls
Yeah.
in.
Well, even in the Polaroid thing, like there's like a shot where the Polaroid is like falling out of the camera really slowly, and it's quick cutting, but like they're doing the same effect. And he like brings his hand up and grabs her.
Oh yeah.
The way they like show like all the hand, like her hand grips the camera and his hand grips the briefcase, and then it slowly moves up and grabs her. And there's like, I don't know, the way that whole thing is shot and edited, it's fucking perfect.
There's shots where these characters when they're mentioned, and they're like just in black. It's like
Oh, yeah.
isolated and everything.
That's awesome. I really enjoy the part where they're coming out of the theater,
Oh yeah.
and he's just like, "Kiss me." Just like, "Kiss me." He's just like mocking him after. What the fuck?
She's like laughing though.
And, like,
It's like so
even
charming.
later, like the next day when she sees him, she's like, "Kiss me." Like comes up to him, taunting him. It's so fucking good.
Oh, so my favorite part when I first saw the movie, and I think this is probably because the first time I ever watched this, I was tripping on acid, is the dream sequence he had. Yeah. Woo, shocker. Jace watched the movie on acid. I love the dream sequence before Friday, that whole Friday thing. And it's him going into the hospital and then like the mother dying. And it's like, it's so haunting and trippy.
How quickly, yeah, dude.
Fucking
When she
insane.
turns her head, it's like a zombie movie. Like when she flips her head back towards him and is like, "You should go in."
And then
and you're just like, "Oh god!"
And then he like puts the helmet on, or the hat on, not the helmet, but the hat on, and then it cuts to them being in that crazy fucking waterfall in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And then it just like all those shots, like the really quick shot of Jordana pointing, and then the mother's face, and then like the hole down into
Dude, and you like can feel that like
Yeah.
so hard even through a television. Like the vertigo like gets you. I was just like, fuck, like oh my god.
And,
It
like,
got
the-
me at least.
It felt like a David Lynch movie for like a second, like in
Yeah.
that sequence, but it was like beautiful, and it wasn't as weird because it's out of the context of David Lynch, but like all of those like choices felt like that kind of style.
Yeah. Well, he wakes up at like what, like it's like 5:55 or some shit like that. He wakes up,
Yeah.
and then
it's
like
just
it
him
immediately
staring.
cuts to like 1755.
It doesn't even cut
No,
though.
it-
It's like the light fades in.
Yeah, he just
Oh,
sits
yeah.
there
And he's just
then
staring.
just looks at the clock,
And then it's
time
just-
passes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how that's done. It's just he just sat there and stared at the clock. I was like, that's.
I was thinking like literally like
The
with
anxiety of that.
those shots where they just the lights come up. It was very like theater.
Yeah.
It was literally like it was a play.
Like when Jordana came, like before they had sex, when she came to the door and she walked in, the light you can. Like,
Oh
tell,
yeah,
like,
where it would like
comes
come
on.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
like oh yeah, that was awesome too. And it did it like twice.
Little stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, it was so good. And like just like the fading to blue as well. It was like it was
Blue and
just-
red.
It's
It's
just
red for
so
the first
different.
two.
So
Dude, when Jordana was coming over to when his parents were out and everything, you really felt the anxiety of him waiting for
Oh,
her. Like
for
I was like, she's not coming. Oh my god, yeah. Let's see where this goes next because she's not coming. Clearly, like it's over for him. Fuck him.
And we all have been there where we're just sitting there like waiting for that girl to show up and you're just looking at your watch and you're looking at your phone and you're just kind of like pacing around.
yeah, and like you're literally so nervous and you're making it worse.
Yeah. And like I love like instead of having him pace, he just sits there staring and you hear the clock and it's like the same experience. You're just like he's just waiting.
It's perfect.
On edge.
And then just the ultimate cringe of just like over preparing for like,
Oh yeah.
a girl.
She's just like,
Yeah, just
oh, like
like
a
the
really cool girl.
Oh my god,
too.
you're a serial killer.
Yeah, you're a serial killer.
She's like, what the hell?
Yeah. Yet then the note that says, "I would drink your blood," gets her back. She's like, "You're a serial killer. I'm out." But oh, you'll drink my blood. I'm back. You're a vampire.
There is something
So charming.
super charming about that note,
So
though.
charming.
And then
Oh, yeah, no,
the
no.
sex scene where he's just like it cuts and he's just like sitting there. It felt like The Graduate in that moment. He's just sitting there with the sheets and he's
like a
kind of
little
got like
smirk.
yeah, that little tiny smirk, and then it cuts to her face and she's just like staring at him blankly, and then she goes and makes that like surprise like
Just that little.
Can you believe
that
it?
little wormy, like,
like
smirky kind of thing. Like, oh, it's so good. I
there's
don't even
something
know how
like
to describe
genuinely
it.
like
When they're like leaving the room and just walking down in silence, and you're just like looking like
Yeah.
smirking still and everything. It's just
Dude, that's
they're
what I
both
understood
happy.
from their
Yeah.
relationship in real life, though, is that like they were talking about how they would have conversations, like without even talking to each other for like 2-3 hours. Like they would just like they were fine with being quiet, so they would just rehearse and like look at each other and like give each other like little looks. So like that, I feel like that was almost like they performed that on screen, you know, like
there's like a
there was a connection between them. Like they were too good together
yeah Richard
for
Ayoade
that to just be
cast
acting, you know, like they were awesome.
he cast it perfectly. Like it's two people who actually like are those characters.
Yeah, it was really good.
So with like Craig Roberts, have you watched any of his movies he made?
No,
Like Just Jim.
I've not seen him, but I know he did it.
Yeah,
have you?
I hear okay things and everything. I haven't, but I want to.
I want to
Yeah,
see.
for sure.
I want to see his Amazon Prime TV show,
Red Oaks.
Red Oaks. Yeah,
I
Like an
I
eight
Heard
enjoyed,
of that?
I enjoyed most of it, and I think it only has 3 seasons, but it's great. And it's also the only thing that I've noticed that mentions true stories. In season 3, it
really?
actually mentions Craig Roberts' character is trying to like pick some girl up, and then he actually mentions true stories. And when I heard that, it just got me. It's like, wow.
He was like, I love you, David Byrne.
that movie's so amazing. It's getting a Criterion release this December. Gonna watch it on fucking Blu-ray.
Oh, yeah.
Non-cropped, man. Non-cropped.
So there's a video on YouTube of Ben Stiller, who is in this movie and is an executive
Super briefly.
producer. So very briefly, as an old man, he looked great.
Yeah.
It looks very good. And there's a video on YouTube of like him talking to the crew and him just being such a fucking dick. And I feel like it's so like Ben Stiller's character to be a dick that it's just him using himself as the butt of the joke in the video, because he's just like, hey guys, like heard it's been pretty rainy in Wales and everything, but like sorry I couldn't make it. I just didn't really want to go because I'm here in like California and it's cool and it's like beautiful. It's beautiful here.
This time of year, it's just so pretty in California.
It's like, so I just didn't want to go, but I'm really happy about all the work that you've been doing. And it's just like my dream when I get approached to like do a movie and they say, hey, do you want to like be a part of this movie? You really don't even have to do anything. You just sign right here and you're just a part of it. He's like, and isn't that what Hollywood's all about? It's the dream. He's like, and this is perfect. He's like, literally just, it's a fantastic video. It's just like 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's so good.
He's just like taunting them the whole time,
like
essentially.
Which is true. Like, I mean, like once you've done all that, you know, it's really just like, hey, I like your script. I'll pay for it to exist.
I'll give you some cash. Give you some cash. You can get this thing funded. We'll get it distributed. You got my name attached. We're good. That's all he did.
Yeah.
And then he did one little shot for
That was probably like in his house.
yeah, like at home. Richard Ayoade is just like, will you shoot this for me?
Just like put it on a TV
yeah,
in the movie. So yeah, it didn't need to look great.
yeah. It's like shot on
His
like
makeup's done
Super
well.
Betamax.
Yeah, that was it's hilarious. I recommend anyone who has seen this film to go look that up and be like, wow, Ben Stiller.
He's funny sometimes. He's actually a genius.
When you don't think he's a dick, he's pretty funny.
She'll bring him up in the previous movie with. I can't think of the name of it.
The previous movie, what?
Of your podcast, the one that
The one that we just did?
the one with Christian Bell.
Empire of the Sun.
Empire of
Yeah.
the Sun.
Did you bring him up in that?
Do we bring Ben Stiller?
I don't
up in that?
remember.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
He's in that movie.
Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Completely forgot about that.
Yeah, absolutely. We brought him up.
Okay.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, that's like the theme throughout all of this now. The middle episodes is just
Ben
Ben Stiller.
Stiller.
Yeah.
Ben Stiller.
The
month.
Stiller years.
Wow. We got the life and death of Stiller. Just kidding. That is so weird though. Like really, like his career is pretty fucking insane. Like after seeing him in Empire of the Sun, I'm like, what the fuck? Like he's so
It's not even his first movie.
yeah. It's not even. It's just weird to see him in a Spielberg production, and it's a weird Spielberg production altogether. So what does it even matter? Like
I would argue the worst Spielberg production.
I don't think a lot of people would argue against you.
Maybe a couple weirdos. Sorry guys, if you're
it's
fans.
3 hours long, and it made me feel like this.
Yeah. 2001: A Space Odyssey is 40 minutes shorter than this.
Wait, they like made the bomb beautiful?
The murder of
Did Steven Spielberg
Tens of
fuck
thousands of
that
people.
bomb? And now he has to make this movie about it?
he's like part of the Manhattan Project. Secretly, he's a time traveler. So he makes so many movies about fucking aliens and time travel. Because that's his actual life.
And the dinosaurs.
Yeah. He was there.
It's like, oh, this is easy. I'll just go get one.
You think those were
All right, y'all,
animatronics?
just make a model of this. Where'd you get this? Don't worry about it.
Don't get too close.
Just make ones like this and then make little smaller ones like this.
Make tiny ones. Don't make sure their teeth aren't that sharp.
Okay, we should end this soon. But speaking of Jurassic Park, Jeff Goldblum was just on Hot Ones, and it was fantastic. Everyone should watch that.
Oh, is that
it
a new episode?
30
Hot ones? What is that?
Hot Ones is a YouTube show where a guy, Sean Evans, interviews guests while eating 10 hot wings of increasingly hot sauces.
Oh, yes. Yes,
Yeah.
I've seen this.
Well, Jeff Goldblum is on it, and it's like literally a 32-minute episode.
It's like a long one.
Yeah, it's the finale of the sixth season. Even though
crazy.
in like a month they'll have a 7th season. Like
Their season breaks are like 3 weeks.
yeah. But it's
That seems like such a strange scenario to see Jeff Goldblum in.
it's so fucking good. It is so fucking good. I cannot even tell you. Everyone needs to watch
he's
this.
so composed.
Oh,
he's so composed.
You need to watch
and so-
how he eats these wings. It's I was just like, what? Like, what the fuck? It's part of it. Literally, what you're saying is part of it. It's incredible.
That's awesome.
He's such an incredible human being.
Gotta watch it too.
Yeah, you need to watch that. I watched that at work and I was just like texting my girlfriend the whole time, just like, oh my god, you need to watch this, and we were like texting each other back and forth, just I love him. He's so good. Like, oh my god.
I recently rewatched Earth Girls Are Easy, and
Man,
he's fantastic in that as well. And
Ben's been talking about that
He
movie
was like,
for like
okay.
the last month straight.
really, it's
Yeah, he's just referenced that movie so many times in the last like month or so.
it's so fun. I'm gonna reference it so much more this weekend.
The Fly was like one of the first like fucking crazy movies I watched with my dad, I feel like.
Yeah,
I feel like that was one of the first where it was like, oh, he's like, oh, The Fly's on, cool. And like then I was just there.
Yeah.
Just like
Oh.
watching The Fly. And I was like, oh shit.
this is crazy.
Dude, I didn't watch The Fly with my dad. I was just allowed to watch The Fly as a child. Like I was just like, I want to get that. Like I saw Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park, and now I want to see The Fly. And so my parents just
Big
let me
mistake.
rent The Fly when I was probably like 7 or 8 years old, and I literally like I just turned green. Like I was so ill watching that movie. Like when he fucking does the compound fracture, just snaps the dude's wrist. Like when they're arm wrestling,
Yeah.
I was just like, oh god, oh.
So
I threw up on my dick. Like
threw
it
up-
was really bad.
I didn't see that movie until college at Allen's Lake House for the first time. It
What?
was the first time I ever saw that.
Did we watch it together? Mm-hmm. I don't remember.
We're in a fly. We were in a fog. It was hazy those days.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was the first time. But did you know that he married Gina Davis right after making that movie? And they got divorced right after Earth Girls Are Easy.
Well, the way he talks about his wife now is just the most impeccable thing ever. Have you seen it? Like, there's literally compilation videos of him talking. He's just like, "Oh, my sweet, sweet woman." It's like, I have the most admiration for. Like, literally, just like keeps on going. Like, so many fucking clips of him just like he fucking loves his wife.
Well, it's good because apparently him and Gina Davis had a very toxic relationship publicly in the 80s.
Well,
Or he's just planning to murder his wife, and he's just trying to lay down a real good cover story.
I wouldn't do it. I adore my wife.
Never do
Love her
that.
so much.
I'm Jeff Goldblum.
But if I did it,
But if I did it,
If I did it. Okay, did you guys watch This Is America?
no.
God damn it. You watched the new one?
yeah. If I did
If
it.
I did it was what triggered it. Don't even talk about it. Chase hasn't seen
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Next week,
that's
next
why
week.
That's why. That's all I said.
Our finale.
That's why. That's all I said.
We'll talk about it in the
But
finale.
was that the season finale? How many more
Yes,
episodes?
that's
was that?
it.
No, there's none.
That was
There's
the
none
season-
more.
This is the series finale.
Okay. That's what. That's the series. Damn.
That's it.
Okay.
And there's no more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I figured from just the format of it. But yeah.
It's so hard to talk about Submarine in the normal way that we talk about movies because Submarine is so good. I mean,
It's good.
It-
It's a good movie.
it's kind of like when we were in All
It's
That
easier
Jazz.
to talk about shitty movies.
It's way easier to talk about shittier movies. And the coming of age movie, like, and we've all like already in the last couple episodes talked about what makes a coming of age movie. And this movie falls into the camp of pretty much all of those things. Like it hits all those requirements from those last few episodes that we like established. It is by far the most quintessential quote unquote coming of age movie that we've watched for this series.
yeah. It is.
While at the same time being not a John Hughes movie, being completely original, making film references to past genres and movements and all this stuff. And it's, you know, it's so much more than a coming of age movie, but at its core, it is the quintessential coming of age story.
Yeah, I haven't met a person who hasn't liked that movie too.
Yeah, I've never met anyone who doesn't like appreciate what they're seeing.
Not a goddamn soul.
Haven't seen
Not
one.
a goddamn soul. Everyone loves this goddamn movie, Dan.
You sound
okay?
sarcastic.
Listen. You're trying to trigger me right now. Okay, I see what you're doing, Alan. You're trying to make eye contact through the internet. It doesn't quite work because neither of us can be looking at each other's eyes if we're looking at each other's eyes because we're not looking at the camera. Like, how's that work? You know? Okay, so anyway.
It's true. I'm
Yeah, no,
looking
it's a really
into
good
your
movie.
eyes.
It's really good.
but
It's a really good movie.
It looks like you're looking into my eyes.
Am I looking in your eyes now, or am I looking in your eyes now?
Both times. Both times you are.
Now.
All times.
Always.
You're always looking at my eyes.
Even when
I'm
we're
like
not
one of
on
those haunted.
Skype.
I'm like a haunted house picture. I'm just always looking at you.
This is a audio format. This is audio medium.
There's no picture.
Sorry you can't see me looking into your
Hey guys,
eyes,
hey guys,
listeners.
check out this silly face I'm making.
It's very, very
Hey
silly,
guys,
listeners.
I'm going to
Very
reenact
silly.
mime style Submarine.
Yeah, I'm doing mime work all this
Listen,
week.
This week on Coming of Age.
the mime episode of Submarine.
Well, yeah,
Dude,
well,
let's
yeah,
do a month
yeah,
of silent
well, you had to
films.
see it.
Let's do a month of silent films. There we go.
I know you listened to the podcast and you didn't like it, but you had to be there.
In the room. It was excellent if you saw. If you could see what they were saying.
You could see.
Do they do live shows? Well, I mean, like if you go to their house, you just sit in their living room.
In my tiny ass studio.
In my tiny ass.
In my tiny ass studio.
Tight little ass. My ass studio.
Hop in, boys.
No
All right.
girls allowed.
He had a studio ass. It was a tight little thing.
Well, that's Submarine. That's Submarine, and that's a great film, and that's my tight little ass. And that's a good film too.
That's my tight little ass, and I'm sticking to
This
it.
ending is so offbeat of what the movie actually is. We are not in line with the tone anymore.
That's all right. We like to end these things a little crazy, a little zany, a little bit of insaney.
Insaney.
Wackadoo.
Hey, cuckoo bananas.
All right.
Woohoo! I love that
Well,
one.
let's all sing an Alex Turner song to sign this off.
Okay, I don't know the lyrics.
Let's all sing a different one. In fact, I'm going to sing one that I make up because I don't know any.
Same.
Can we sing John Bryan songs on piano from Eternal Sunshine?
We all live in
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, what's up?
Alabama.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Oh my god, I love this episode.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, bye everyone. That was
Bye.
yeah, goodbye everyone.
Follow us on the Instagrams and the Twitters. Do
everyone,
that.
Everyone needs to follow us on the bullshit. You guys have bullshit on your phone? You go on the bullshit. There's one called Instagram. There's one called Twits,
There's one called
Facebook, and then there's Apple Podcasts, there's SoundCloud, there's YouTube, and there's one called Stitcher
Yeah.
as well.
If you're on Stitcher listening to this, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We don't ever look at it.
You should find a better system to listen to podcasts. Just saying.
I don't understand people who like. I see people posting on like last pod. We can talk about this later. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone. Follow us on things. Thanks, Coby, for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for being here, Kobe.
Bye, Dan.
Nice to meet you, Cob.
You too.
Bye.
Fiend.
Fuck you.